There were some familiar faces and several new ones as UK MPs lent their signature to the National Day banner. It's been a long 4 years since Gibraltar has been able to celebrate wholeheartedly with COVID and then the Queen's death last year, just as MPs arrived on the Rock. Thoughts were very much with the late monarch this afternoon, as were Sunday's festivities, but MPs were also keen to highlight their support for Gibraltar at this critical time in our history.
From our experience in Northern Ireland, I would say to the government of Gibraltar, stand your ground, hold out for what you need. In the end, you will succeed. And that's always been the spirit of Gibraltar. And I am confident that in the end, there will be bumps on the way, like there have been in Northern Ireland, but you will get what you need. This place is a wonderful place. It deserves a great future. And we'll certainly support the government of Gibraltar sharing our experiences from Northern Ireland to help them get the deal that you need, the outcome from the negotiations that will be good for everyone here.
It is frustrating that particularly events in Spain have delayed things which were progressing, I think, carefully and methodically, but very positively. The UK government, and I've spoken to ministers before I left, is still determined to continue on that path. We are ready as soon as the Spaniards are in a position to start substantive and meaningful negotiations again. We're keeping in lockstep with the Gibraltar government about that. The Deputy Prime Minister, standing in for the Prime Minister only 2 or 3 weeks ago, gave me that assurance, and I've been speaking personally to the Foreign Secretary again and to the Prime Minister in recent weeks. So I'm confident about our position. What we do need is our neighbours in Spain to in a position to start having discussions where they have the authority to deliver.
Well, it's absolutely great to be here. Portsmouth has a really strong link with the people of Gibraltar. I came last year and obviously we saw the tragic loss of Her Majesty the Queen, so I wanted to come back and join Gibraltarians for the celebrations today. I'm really pleased that I've come with other Labour colleagues, and that shows how seriously we take that relationship with Gibraltar, to listen and learn and hear what the views and ideas of the Gibraltar people to take back to Parliament.
I was here 30 years ago, and the intervening years I've attended most of them. And I've certainly attended everyone in spirit. The people of Gibraltar have been able to express their confidence in governing themselves. They confidently negotiate with Spain, the EU, and to some extent the British Foreign Office. And it's shown a maturity in politics, which I think is a model for some other jurisdictions around the world.
Well, we've had meetings with the government, meetings with the Chamber of Commerce. We've heard a great deal about the state of negotiations. Obviously, an awful lot of that depends on what happens in the politics of Spain, which is at a complicated juncture at the moment as well. And obviously we would hope to see those negotiations back on track and concluding successfully in the near future. I think there are things that we as parliamentarians can do, sometimes in our conversations with diplomats, our conversations with parliamentarians from other countries, connections we have with the Spanish government, connections that we have with the European Commission. And so I think it's very valuable to be hearing these things at first hand and able to get that message across to the other parties in the negotiations.
Representatives of the overseas territories also signed the banner later on in the afternoon. With Gibraltar in limbo as regards a post-Brexit treaty agreement, the hope is now that this show of red and white strength will reap some rewards in the uncertain weeks and months to follow.